Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are featuring a lovely watch from the guys over at Laco in Pforzheim. Now, let's face it, Laco has been going for years. They're mostly known for their pilot's watches. They've got a really good array of original kind of World War II vintage stuff, to the more modern interpretations of them. And this is one of their sports watches. This is the Mojave. It came out a couple of months ago, and I am a big fan because, after all, I have its little brother here. Now, I voted this watch, I think my favourite watch, I think it was last year. And since I actually did that review, I've actually got the bracelet for this watch, and I still love this watch. This is the newer version now with this new case finish, and I think it is just a drop dead gorgeous watch. But before I get into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this piece. They have some cracking watches, some really funky brands that not other shops just simply don't carry. So if you're in the Midlands area, I'd strongly recommend popping into their Kenilworth branch. If you're a bit further afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description below and at the bottom of the page now. All I ask is that you do mention the channel if you contact them. So anyway, let's talk sizes. This one is the larger one. This is a 39mm here. This is what they call the 42mm. Now, I measured the case of the watch actually at 41.7. The bezel, though, is bigger. It's coming in at 43mm. The thickness of the watch, it's a little tiny bit thicker than the 39. It's coming in at 13.5, and the lug to lug is a fraction over 50mm. The strap on this is actually 20mm, but flares out a little bit. The dial itself, though, let's face it, it's clean and crisp. I love this colorway, but it is available in also, I think it's blue, green, and you can get it in a more subdued orange with white markers going around the actual bezel. The strap on this, you can get different versions as well. Unfortunately, there isn't a bracelet option available with this one, because it really would bump up the price if you're going to start adding on a black DLC actual bracelet. So this one, bear in mind, is coming in, I think, RIP at £900. I think you could possibly even get it for less than that. I'm not sure if they're running 10% off at least, so worth checking out. But as I say, the dial, just look how crisp. I think it is just a really well executed dial. I think it's not too flash, but not too simple either. I like the fact you just have a simple Laco and their lovely script at the top there, an automatic 30-meter, and the made in Germany down there. It just looks clean and crisp. I love that when you zoom into these hands, you actually almost see like a kind of, like the paint, it's almost got like a furry kind of feel to it, like a powderous feel. It looks, it looks ever so good. The loom is also pretty good on this watch, I have to say. I think it's really nice. I love the back, just the black dial on this, and then the matching date wheel. It's just done really, really well. I love, I say it's just one of those watches. I think they've just got the dial right. It's that colourful that it's interesting, but it's not over the top. It's not full of script or a second 24-hour indicator below. It is just clean and crisp. Even down to the fact that they just put 30 ATM, so 300 meter instead of water resistant or whatever. I like what they've done with this. I think it is ever so good. The actual crystal on the watch is this lovely sapphire. Now, there is AR coating on the inside, but if you're one of these people who likes absolute maximal amount of AR, then you can order it, I believe, from Laco themselves with AR coating on the outside as well. Some people like it, some people don't. Now, the actual bezel itself, as you can see, it's got this really chunky kind of, not serrations, but milled out sections here, which just give it this really kind of rugged feel or look to it. The actual bezel action, let's have a listen. Ooh, that is solid. Is there back play? Oh yeah, there is a little bit, to be fair. Let's have a try. Well, I don't know, actually. When you go around to these other ones, oh, no, that click, yeah. This is a 60-click bezel. There's a tiniest bit of backplay there, but normally I find 60-click bezels just tend to be more solid when you actually rotate them. Does it line up? Let's have a look. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Really is good, that one. Overall, I really like it. It just feels and looks great. The case itself is pretty simple. They've got a lovely, it just looks clean and tidy. This DLC coating on there. Yes, you can scratch these coatings, but sometimes I think these, on some of these models, when you scratch them up a bit, if you're one of these people who actually, does really bash them around, they can look quite cool. Not for everyone's taste, I do agree, but you can also get this model in silver if that's what you desire. Now, it's got these lovely big crown guards, and let's face it, they really do an incredible job of protecting that crown. But then the problem can be, can you grasp the crown so easily? But to be fair, yes you can, because you can see how much it sticks out on the top and bottom, and it is also signed. And as you can see, it's a screw out crown, and we've got hacking all the usual features there. Does it screw back in? Yeah, it screws back in easily first time, so that's really good. As I say, this is a 300-meter diver after all. Now, as we turn around to the back, you are greeted with that absolutely, gorgeous looking scorpion on the back there. I think they've done a real tidy job of this case back. It's the same on this model here, but as you can see, just that little bit different. So underneath that, we do have what Laco call the Laco 200, but that actually is an SW200 movement. Now, it's in its standard guise, I think. You've got the base model, and you've got 4 variations, basically. Standard, the next one up, and then it's top spec, and then it's chronometer. So this one is a standard variation. I did put it on the time grapher, and I think it was coming in at, I've got to remember, I think it was plus 1 second, or I've got to try and remember now, was it +1 or -4? I don't know, you can see on the time grapher it is, I think it was actually, sorry, I think it was +4. So that's pretty impressive. But they do allow you to actually spend extra money if you want. I know, imagine that shop allowing you to spend extra money. But if you spend the extra money, you can get top grade on this as well. And that just means it's been better regulated. Some of the parts are slightly better. It's just had a little bit, it's almost getting a car which has been mapped. It's just a little bit better and everything. But that's it there. It's basically got 26 joule, around about 40 hours of power reserve. I know some people always want more hours of power reserve, but to be fair, if I'm not wearing it at night or if I'm not moving so much in my sleep, it only has to work till the morning, so I don't mind that. Plus, this beats at a proper 8 beats per second. That's why that second hand is so smooth. You get some models, like on the Seikos and some of the Longines, where they've, or the Powermatic 80s, where they've actually slowed the beat rate down, and you do get a slightly more jittering second hand. You don't always notice it, but when you place it next to one of these, you notice it. And again, when you put this up next to a high beat, 10 beat, you would notice it, I suppose. But overall, I think it's great. Now, this one here, it does come on this orange silicon band. It is quite nice, actually. The whole purpose for these kind of serrations here, when you do dive, you want to strap this down to your wrist as much as possible, because obviously underwater, your wrist will shrink a little. But overall, I quite like the vividness on this. But as I say, you can put whatever strap you want on this watch. I do think it looks really good with this. My only criticism would be the actual buckle at this end is a bit of a kind of, it's got this kind of pin style one there. I do prefer a slightly fatter, wider actual piece there. But you can see there's plenty of adjustment down here. Overall, it is really good. Let me put it on my wrist, actually, get an idea how it looks. Let me zoom out a little bit. And just a quick side-by-side with my model there. And as you can see, it's only a tiny bit smaller. But yeah, I just think they're still ever such good watches. Superb. Let me put it on my wrist. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing the brand new Crafter Blue there. I love this watch. I think it's ever so good. Really, really impressive. And Bob has something completely random and different, but I thought, what the heck? Let's go for an orange and black theme for a few reviews. And this is the Victorinox watch. And I think it is very, very interesting and something a little bit different. It's a brand I've never looked at before, so I thought I'd give it a try. My wrist size is 7¼ inches. Now, this is one thing I did want to actually show you because, first of all, on my wrist, it looks, I think, phenomenal. I just think it's a great looking watch. But one slight criticism is, if you see here, because I've got a 7¼ inch wrist, 18.5 centimeters, you notice I've only got one extra link there. So this, I think if you've got under a 7-inch wrist, I don't think this strap would be any good for you. Obviously this, I think because they've gone with a larger diameter size case on this, they expect you to have a bigger wrist. So if you like a larger watch and you have a smaller wrist, you might struggle with the actual strap size on this. But hey ho, it's, you could get yourself some very cool silicone straps or leather straps to this watch. It'll look amazing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to leave you to it at that, but most importantly, you'll stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.